Hello, and thank you for joining me once again today. I have a two-part program that I want to present to you today. We're going to be talking on faith. Today I want to give you a testimony of mine on my personal faith walk and of others. And then next week we'll continue with the biblical testimonies of faith. They're all going to be found in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Today I'm entitling it quite simple, Faith Walk. I want to let us begin by understanding that there is power in faith. I believe that that's the reason the entire chapter 11 of Hebrews was given to us, to build not only our faith, but to understand that there is power when we walk out our faith in God. But I'm so thankful also that God gives us personal opportunities to do more than read about the faith people of the Bible, but we get to produce our own testimonies as we walk out our faith in the Lord. Today let's begin with Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I guess you could say that the writer of Hebrews decided to insert a definition for faith, kind of a dictionary moment. He's starting to lay this foundation for what he's about to talk about, so he wants you to understand what faith really is. You know, faith is not, in our minds, we think faith is not tangible. But I want to show you something that just might play with it a little bit. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Now, substance is normally tangible, am I right? It is normally tangible, substance. So, is he saying that faith has tangible? Well, sort of. Faith is the tangible part, the things hoped for. Things hoped for. Things are tangible. So what do we hope for? Faith is the substance. It's what we can hold on to of things hoped for. Do you need money? How much? Do you have that figure in your mind? Can you see the money? Do you know that you need it? Can you believe God for what? You see money in your mind. You think money. Money is tangible. Do you need a car? I've known people that cut out pretty car pictures. They'll post it on the refrigerator. They'll post it on their vanity. They'll post it to remind them that the tangible is what they are hoping for. They're saying, I believe you, Lord, for the car, and they're putting a tangible image there. Now then, so we can see tangible in our mind, which gives it some substance. Next, where's the evidence? The scripture says, the evidence of things not seen. The evidence of things not seen. Folks, this definition is definitely different than most people's definitions of a tangible. The evidence is the things that you can't see. Romans 8:24-25. For we were saved in this hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For why does one still hope for what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we eagerly wait for it with perseverance. Paul tells us in Romans that we can't call something a faith walk if we already have it. Well, that just sort of makes sense. You don't go around hoping for what you have in your hand. You have it. But if you don't have it, and you know you need it, and you've asked God for it, then you begin to hold on to the fact that God's going to supply what that tangible piece is in your mind. By the way, let me just insert this. At no point do we tell God how to create the miracle of providing the end result of our faith walk. Well, why would I say that? You see, the minute we give God our answer to our problem, our solution, we begin to restrict His power. His way of thinking is so much higher than ours. If we would just relax and let Him do what He does best, create. He creates for us the miracles that we need. He creates the way that we receive it. It's in His mind to bless us. And so we relax and trust Him. I want to give you a personal testimony, and I don't share this one very often. I'll tell you why in a few minutes, but it's real, and it took place in my husband and my life several years ago. We had been driving back from this particular town, and on the way home, the Lord spoke to both of us as clearly as though there was a third person sitting in the car. And we both knew that He had spoken to us very clearly, that we were to move from this town to this town. Now, we had lived in this town for years and years and years, and we didn't know anybody over here. But God clearly told us this was where we were to move. Out of obedience and sheer faith, we both resigned good-paying jobs. We put our house on the market for sale by owner. We thought this will be a great test. If it's not really from the Lord, then the house can sit there. Wouldn't you know it, the house sold in 24 hours to someone we'd never met. So now we had our home was sold, our jobs were resigned, and we were moving. But folks, we had no place to go to. We had no house at the other end. So we began to just pray earnestly for this. We knew we were in God's will. We didn't question that. We knew that. But yet, we couldn't see the house at the other end. Our house here had sold quickly, easily, and we had resigned jobs. Now, the reason I hesitate to tell you this is quite simple. There are many of us that are in situations we don't want to be in. And so often we think in our mind, well, you know what, if I'll just move. I'll just pack up and move. Folks, unless God tells you as clear as He told my husband and I that day, you stay put. He'll bring you through your situation, not send you out of it. In this case, He wasn't sending us out of a bad situation. He was sending us to a ministry. So, one day my husband and I, we were taking our daily walk, and the Lord just began to drop Hebrews 11:1 in my spirit. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And I said to my husband, honey, I think I understand evidence. We are definitely on a faith walk. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, I don't see anything. No matter where I turn, don't see any answers. I don't see a thing. We have sold our home. We have resigned our jobs. The movers are coming in 2 weeks. The packers and movers are coming to our house in 2 weeks, and we're to vacate that home. But we don't have a house to go to. So we began to look. Now we've gone through the realtors and so forth. And it's hard to buy a house if you don't have a job. And so we couldn't get one in that way. So we began to look at by owner. And as we told people about our move and why we were moving, that God had told us, people didn't want to talk to us. But one lady said, yes, come on out. So we went out, and it was in the nicest, most beautiful neighborhood. And I began to share with her my story of how we were to move and that God had called us to this town. I didn't know that she too was on a faith walk. You see, God had told her weeks, even a couple months before me, that there would be a couple who would be coming to buy her home, and that she was not to sell her home until that couple said, and he gave her phrases that they would be using. She was to wait until she heard those phrases. Folks, she turned down offers to purchase her home because they had not used that phrase. Now that's a faith walk. That's obedience, and it's confidence in God that He knows what He's doing. And so when I began to use these phrases that I didn't know what God had told her, She got so excited and so happy. She had found the couple, and now she was ready to sell it. Our furniture was to move in 1 week now. And she said, that's not a problem. God told me you would be in a big hurry, and that I was to take most of my furniture out and clean the house and have it quickly ready for God's people that would come. So she said, I have just barely been living here waiting on you. She had everything out, this beautiful neighborhood. It was gorgeous. I want you to know we moved in on time. And God blessed the lady, and He blessed us. But I still had no job. Well, within just a few weeks, I had not only a job, it turned out to be a promotion from the one I had in the other town. And within just days, the Lord showed my husband the ministry He was calling him into in this town. And so we had evidence that we didn't see a thing, but we had faith, things hoped for. And we trusted in God, and He got us there. So we have faith in two ways. One, we have the substance that we cling to, that we know He's going to provide. And two, we know that when we can't see a thing, we're on a faith walk. So begin to rejoice and just sit back and watch what God's going to do. He'll do it with your health. He'll do it with your finances. Whatever you have issues with, He will bless you without wavering. There's no room for doubting here, folks. I want to take just another moment today to tell you that I would like to hear your personal testimony. You see, I shared mine, but I know you have personal testimonies as well. I'd love for you to come and just write to me at dlevenstv@gmail.com. dlevenstv@gmail.com. Tell me your personal testimonies. And I also want to join you. If you're in a faith walk right now, I want to be praying with you. I want to partner with you. You see, I don't have secretaries and staff. I answer my own gmail.com. I want to hear from you. I want to pray with you. And also, I want to share with you that I have a book. It's called a CD of my book, Echoes from God. I have read the entire book. It is now on CD, and it would be wonderful to just put it into your car. Email me at dlevenstv@gmail.com for the book. Thank you for joining me.
We hope you've enjoyed Fresh Manna for Today with Evangelist D. Levens. For more from Dee, read The Long, Long Night, The Story of Destiny, and Echoes from God, a Christian study book for growing deep and strong in the faith. Connect with Dee and purchase her books at dlevens.com.